It is the year 2024, and I am finally trying Black Ops 2 Plutonium. Now, that's a little bit of a lie, because I actually tried it a little bit before I started recording this video. Like, I downloaded it, hopped in, just to make sure it would work. So this isn't, like, my first time playing it on camera, but, like, my first time playing it was, like, 5 minutes ago, when I tested out one match in Nuketown just to make sure it would work. But essentially, how this works is we have a ton of servers to choose from, and for the servers that don't have, you know, a full amount of players, because right now I'm recording this at like 7 a.m., so there's only about like 170 players online, it says, in total. However, even for the lobbies where, say, there isn't enough players to fill up the lobby, at least in the ones that I played, it'll actually fill out the rest of them with bots, so then it's still an active lobby, which is just so different from like the usual console experience, because you guys know me, 99% of the time when I'm playing my games, I just want to play on console. I'm not a PC guy. That being said, when you try to play this game on console half the time, yeah, you're gonna have trouble getting into a match unless you're playing, like, midday on the weekend specifically, like I was trying to play this morning, and, yeah, it was basically impossible to find a match, but here, you know, it fills out the rest of them, or at least most of the other slots with bots. Unfortunately, it doesn't fill out the whole 6v6 thing, it just kind of fills it up like 4v4, so that's a little weird, but regardless, at least we're in a match and we're able to play the game and progress in terms of like XP and camos and all that, because, you know, you can play against bots till the end of time on console if you wanted to, but for me, you know, I want to at least be able to get on and grind through the XP, grind out camos and stuff like that. So even if I'm not playing against real people in this very specific instance where it's like, hey, you know, unfortunately I'm playing against bots, at least I can still keep ranking up and using my camos and weapons and all that. Another thing that's cool is that, as you can see here, I mean, the time limit is over 10 minutes, and the score to win is like 450 or something crazy like that. So, if you just want to grind... it just got blown up! If you just want to grind out the game infinitely, I mean, you can do that too. You know, you can just kind of flip on a podcast in the background, go for a diamond or gold camo, or just go for prestige. Like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. There is also an unlock all button if you want to do that. Me personally, though, I do not want to unlock all. I want to play this out as if it's 2012 again, you know, like just like on launch day of Black Ops 2 when I got the game, popped it in, I was a level 1, grinding out the weapons, grinding out the camos. If you notice that my aim is a little wonky, it's because I'm specifically going for headshots in order to get the PDW gold. Like I said, I'm not much of a PC guy, however, I'm thinking of investing in like a mini PC setup so then I can actually incorporate it into my console setup so then I can go back and... Ow! I just hit my finger on the desk. But I want to get a mini PC of connection in... No, don't do this to me, baby. Hey, maybe that's just all part of Plutonium, you know? You gotta stay true to that 2012, 2013 experience where you have connection interrupted pop up at least once per match. But yeah, I'm thinking of investing in a mini PC setup of some kind so then I can, like, incorporate it into my console setup specifically for these old Call of Duties. Like, there's no other games that are exclusive to PC that I haven't already played that I wanted to play. Really, it would just be for the sake of, like, again, playing, like, these older Call of Duties, whether it be through Plutonium or the Boy Klein on BO3 or... Excuse me, bot die. Because for some of these Call of Duty games, obviously you can still play them on console. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, but you have to be playing at a very specific time. And even when you do get on there, there's probably like hackers galore. Dude, this bot, stop moving. Just let me get my headshots. There we go. 5 headshots down, 95 to go. For some of the games like Black Ops 3, you can still get on there. But again, it does kind of come down to like, all right, what time are you playing at? And if you have the DLCs installed, that's a whole other thing. And I know, you know, there is the one aspect of it where it's like, man, you know, playing against bots isn't exactly the same thing. But like I said before, it's not like it's all just bots. That's only for when there's not enough actual real players in order to fill out a lobby. 9 times out of 10, you know, these servers are actually still relatively active. So when you're not like me and you're not trying to play at like 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m., you'll still be finding thousands of people on here. And it's pretty cool because there's servers like this for like all of the old Call of Duty games, whether it be I think there's one for COD 4. I know Plutonium specifically, when I opened up the launcher, there was one there for World of War, MW3, BO2, and BO1, so I definitely want to hop on and make a video on BO1 and Modern Warfare 3's Plutonium at least, and maybe World of War. I mean, World of War on console is still surprisingly active, and even funnier is the fact that things have sort of been reversed for World of War, so like back in the day, even in like 2014, 2013, something like that, World of War was hacked into oblivion, even only like 5 years after its release. But going back to it nowadays, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still hackers galore depending on, like, you know, if you get unlucky enough to run into them, but I mean, honestly, most times when I'm playing World of War, whether it's on PS3 or Xbox 360, it's not that hard to find full lobbies without hackers or anything like that, which is very rarely surprising. I kind of just wanted to hop on Nuketown at first just to kind of show you guys, like, hey, yeah, this is what it's like, it works, and even if there's no real players online, you'll at least be able to play to some capacity. And I do gotta say, I really like how the servers feel on here because obviously when you're playing Black Ops 2 on console, it's based on a peer-to-peer connection, which means that I mean, if you're the host or if you're just four-barring in general, the game's gonna feel great, but if you're connected to somebody that lives in, like, Saudi Arabia, whereas you live in the US, yeah, the connection probably isn't gonna be that strong. You might be three-barring, it might not feel as consistent, but, you know, here on PC, since the servers are, I mean, I'm not exactly sure how they're working here. I don't know if they have dedicated servers set up or if it's still peer-to-peer in some way, but regardless, it still just all feels great. I just want to get a few more headshots here, and then I want to go on and see if there's any lobbies with, you know, that, like, at least somewhat full of real people. Part of how I record games over on console, too, is I have literally, like, a 30-foot HDMI cord that goes from my console setup back to my PC and plugs into my capture card. So I could probably, like, even reverse engineer that and just unplug the HDMI that goes from my capture card, or from my graphics card to my PC monitor, and instead just plug that long HDMI into the back of my PC, and then have it go kind of reverse and plug into my HDMI splitter that then sends the signal to my TV, so then I can play it over there if I wanted to in my console setup. That's another idea, and then just run like a really long cord from my PC over to that TV to use with like a wired controller. I'm sorry if none of that made sense. So you got some of these servers here where it's like high XP, and every time I see XP, you know, my brain's going crazy. It's like, oh man, I'm on the Master Prestige grind, but no, I'm gonna be good. Let's see, we got one player in here, one player in here. We got, see, I like this because you have some where it's like, okay, it's just Hijack, Nuketown 2025 or whatever. But then you have other ones where they're actually doing like the other maps of the game, like Encore and Frost and Dig and stuff like that. Yeah, see, some of these lobbies have players, but the unfortunate part is that the pings are a little high. So, like, even if I would join that one, my ping would be soaring. I want to stay at least below 100 if I can help it. You know what? I'll help this guy out here. What's this? There's only one player in there. It's a 20 ping. Let's see. Well, it said I was going to be playing a match of Express, but for some reason it took me into Frost. I'll take it. Don't mind me just trying to get gold camo on my PDW, my favorite weapon in Black Ops 2. Oh, okay. So it says there's 4 friends, 4 enemies. Unfortunately, yeah, once again, doesn't seem like there's actually any real players in here, which is strange because it was saying before I joined that there was real players, but it is what it is. We'll just roll with it. Hope that some real players actually end up joining. I'm just glad that through the Plutonium client, we actually have this thing now where the lobbies can be filled out with bots, because obviously, you know, longevity-wise and just in terms of the future of Black Ops 2 and all these other older Call of Duties, obviously, again, when you're like me and you're trying to play at the wee hours of the night, or just, you know, over time, there's going to be less and less people playing these games, and the people that will be remaining playing it is people like me who played these games during their prime, who are OGs of the Call of Duty series. You know, you'll always have those stragglers that come in just wanting to experience the past Call of Duty because they, you know, maybe they joined during the Warzone era and they just want to see, hey, what are some of these newer Call of Duties like? I hear all these boomers talking about it all the time. Let me go experience it for myself. But outside of those rare examples, yeah, you know, 99% of the time, it's really going to be those people like me, again, the OGs that just have a lot of nostalgia or just a lot of fondness for the game in general, right? Because there's a difference between just having blind nostalgia for a game and having genuine love for it. I mean, obviously, nostalgia and love are kind of intertwined, but you have that type of nostalgia where it's like, all right, you're going to reminisce on it a little bit, and then you're going to kind of carry on with your life before you get nostalgic again for it in a couple of months. Whereas, you know, when it comes to Black Ops 2, it is just a sheer love for me. I have literally been playing this game weekly, at least on a weekly basis, since release back in 2012. I can't think of a single time where I've even gone more than a month without playing Black Ops 2. And it blows my mind to say this, but this year this game will officially be 12 years old, which is just absolutely crazy, because there's probably kids that are playing Call of Duty today that they themselves are 12 years old, meaning they were born the same year the Black Ops 2 came out. Whoa, okay, we have like a whole map voting session. I guess I'll just go, I'll go Express. Wait, I want to go Express. How do can I change to, no, let me, go, okay, raid, Express, yeah. I'm fine with Express. Which is just crazy, because when Black Ops 2 came out, man, yeah, that would have been during, like, my pre-teen era. I was already in the early phases of puberty, just kind of, you know, figuring out what life is all about, making my friends, do my thing on Xbox Live, and then there's some kids that were literally just being shot out the womb. But again, yeah, I just can't stress how happy I am that these servers do actually include bots, because, you know, when all the players are gone, or just when there's not as many people online, the bots will always be here to at least keep a semblance of the game alive. You know, you can it won't just become a lost media thing where it's like, oh, you can never unlock these camos again, you can't level up again, you can't hit Master Prestige again. No, thanks to these clients and these servers and such, yeah, you'll actually be able to do that. You can still progress, you can still unlock camos, you can still go for XP, and I love that. That being said, I'm very heavily biased, and I love Black Ops 2. It's literally my favorite Call of Duty of all time, so I'm hoping that, you know, there's a point where this game can hit the numbers that it had back in, like, 2013, man. It was so unreal back in the day, hopping on and seeing there was, like, 300,000 people online, because you have to remember, not only was there, like, 300,000 people online or more at times on like Xbox Live, but that also doesn't include the hundreds of thousands that were also on PS3, on top of the thousands of people that were on PC, because at that time, you know, just PC gaming in general wasn't as big as it is nowadays, because nowadays it's sort of kind of close to an even split, probably between console and PC, if I had to guess. Probably more people on console in general still, though, but still, there's a lot of people that play on PC. But back in the day, especially when it came to, like, Call of Duty and stuff, like, sure, you had some players that were like, all right, man, we're gonna push the max FOVs and frame rates and graphics and all that, but for the most part, it really wasn't like that. Most people were probably just either playing on like PS3 or Xbox 360. Me personally, I was playing on both because I had a 360 at my mom's and a PS3 at my dad's. So on the weekends when I'd see my dad, I'd be on the PS3 going for the Master Prestige grind, and then since I was with my mom all week, you know, I was already, I was just like a higher level in general over on Xbox 360. But that doesn't change the fact that I still went for Master Prestige on PS3, still went for Diamond Camo on all weapons on both of my accounts. Like I said, I know the gameplay is really suffering right now, and I'm not doing that well, but I'm literally just only going for headshots. I don't care. I know normal kills will help me level up and all that, and I do want to level up, but like, I mean, headshots are like my bread and butter right now. I really want to get gold camo. There we go, just ranked up. Level 9, baby. I have 20 headshots so far. It said I just unlocked Siberia camo, so we're holding on here. I remember back in the day, one of the main strategies I did is I'd pop a laser sight on the PDW, and that, you know, just, that worked like a charm. Laser sight, for some reason, always seemed to get me more headshots than actually just using the weapon in ADSing. It's also worth mentioning that this whole Plutonium thing doesn't just apply to multiplayer. You can also use this over in zombies. Like, they have different segments. So for MW3, obviously it's just for multiplayer, but then for BO1, BO2, and World of War, they have two different things where you can either set up Plutonium for multiplayer, or you can boot it up into zombies, because for those who don't know, on PC, zombies and multiplayer and all that, it's two different EXEs for some reason. I mean, obviously when you install the game, you still get all the different modes. It's just, it launches up a different EXE to go into, you know, each of the separate modes. But when you do that, yeah, you know, you're able to go over there and it's safe, because that's one of the main things. Like, even though you can technically still play these older Call of Duties online on PC, it's really not recommended because it is such a huge security risk. Like, it is not even funny just how much of a risk it actually is to play these old Call of Duties on PC, so you literally don't even want to play them without these clients. Not to mention all the added benefits of, like, again, dedicated servers and these custom things where, like, bots can fill out the lobbies and still having all the usual progression that you would expect in Black Ops 2, except, you know, with the bots, just to keep the game playable, because obviously if you don't have enough players, or at least, you know, something similar to players, which in this case would be bots, to fill out the lobbies, then yeah, the game's literally unplayable because you can't start a match. Which I know this is insanely off topic, but that's one of the reasons that I'm worried about the future of Modern Warfare 3 zombies, because obviously if you don't have enough players to fill out a match, you literally can't play that mode at all. So that mode's essentially going to become lost media one day. I'm hoping that they kind of right that wrong and maybe include a offline mode of some kind, because as much as I love Modern Warfare Zombies, and as much as I love the idea of the mode, and it, you know, I've had so many fun interactions with the mode, being able to like run into other players and stuff like that, just kind of randomly throughout it. I do feel like at some point next year, if they're able to, they should really try to add an offline mode of some kind if they're able to work that out. I know it would be a little hard just because of all the different mechanics they have in place with the schematics and the cooldowns and the missions, and just the way that the game is so intertwined with the whole Warzone identity and the whole online aspect of it. But at the same time, it is a part of not only Call of Duty history, but also Call of Duty Zombies history, which is a very precious thing to me and many others. Not to mention the fact that it's part of the game, man. You know, so many people put so much time into, you know, working on and developing that mode and supporting that mode throughout the year, whether we're talking about Treyarch initially developing it, or Sledgehammer, you know, kind of picking up the pace after Treyarch had to kind of dip out of there to go finish up working on Black Ops 6, and it was all just kind of on Sledgehammer to finish out the, you know, the season's worth of content. It would be tragic not only for the sake of the players, but also for the developers, for all that hard work just to essentially go to waste one day. So hopefully they can work that out, because that is one of the things that sucks with like a mode like Blackout, for example, where as much as I love Blackout, it's still probably my favorite Call of Duty Battle Royale, if I'm gonna be honest, just because it really harnessed that Call of Duty identity. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Warzone, but like, I don't know, Blackout just really felt like a Call of Duty Battle Royale, you know what I mean? Whereas Warzone, I've always kind of viewed as just being its own thing. But Blackout is already kind of becoming like a lost media in a way, because like, while you can sort of find lobbies from time to time, it's getting more and more difficult. Anyways, I've been jib-jabbing for long enough, and you guys are probably getting sick of watching me die over and over. I don't care, man. I'd be doing better if I was just doing my usual aim for center of mass as you would, but, you know, I really need those headshots, man. I'm only, like, a quarter of the way done, but I want to get this thing gold. I love the PDW. It's probably my favorite weapon in Black Ops 2, right up there with the MSMC and the AN-94, but I'll work on it as the day goes on. Let's see, how far did I get? Level 6. Okay, I did get a laser sight, so that's very good. I'm also gonna throw a fast mag on it. And, yeah, I got 26, so I just need to get 74 more headshots. No problem. I'll have to work on an emblem later. Time to whip out the old 2013 emblem tutorials. Look at that, more players are online now. 215, that's what I'm saying. As the day goes on, as the morning goes on, there's gonna be more and more players. I bet it'll be up in the thousands by the time the afternoon hits. But anyway, as always, massive shout out to all the Patreons and channel members. Thank you to all of you in the low ball tier, and even bigger shout out to all the big ball tier, Melasking and Big Dad Manny, and the biggest shout out to all the G tier run events and the cheese girl. Thank you guys so much. You guys are literal legends. I love you. Good one, Nidodoki, Arigato, gozaimasu. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.